question. First question. I'm very interested about your project, Africa VR Campus.
Oh yeah. My name. First of all, my name is my popular name is Teacher Paul Simon Wayaki. Wayaki is my native name, and I am the first African in the metaverse. Since 2016, I always love technology. So I never loved to write on the blackboard. I always preferred to come with a TV and show the students videos on a YouTube. So I was a very popular teacher.
I understand.
The kids love that instead of boring teaching on the blackboard. They loved watching the videos of animals I have never seen. So I used all my savings and bought my first Samsung Gear VR. I still have it. This is my first Samsung Gear VR. I don't know whether I used to go all over Kenya teaching with VR, especially sciences, a subject like biology, where children are learning about cells, things they cannot see with their own eyes. But with the virtual reality, they were able to see that much better. And then in 2017, I came across Allspace VR by Microsoft. And in V-Time, only 4 people could be in a virtual room. But in Allspace, even 100 people can be in a virtual room. So you can imagine then how shocked they were when I learned that I am from Africa. Some of them could not believe it. And that's when I started realizing, oh my God, I am the only African around. So you could have 100 people in a virtual room and I'm the only African. But when they learned that I'm an African, they wanted to hear my perspective. In 2019, I hosted my first event. My first metaverse event, and I'm still hosting metaverse events, including the one you came to when you stumbled on me. They learned what I do, and what they did is they made me the facilitator of a project called Metaverse for SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals. And because of that, they gave me tens and tens of VR devices. They paid for my trip all over Africa now. I wasn't just training people in Kenya. I was now training people in Africa and teaching them about virtual reality. So I've done so many things, including now bringing students in VR. By the way, if you want to meet them, you can come to our Metaverse World on Wednesday. You'll meet our students. And of course, I'm still receiving the latest devices that I have, that I use now. And we can get our hands in and grab these opportunities that are coming for developing communities and countries.
Next, how exactly do you use VR glasses in the education process? How in your lesson structured? I'm interested in the lesson framework. For example, 10 minutes we learn something, then we use VR or something else.
Well, I prefer using VR throughout, because when I want to teach about oceans, let's go and see the ocean. I don't have to teach about the ocean first. Let us speak about the ocean when we are in the ocean. And then we can learn together from there. So what I do is I go to schools, because different schools want to be taught different things in VR. Don't forget, even schools are not the same. So I could go to an engineering school. That is for engineers. I cannot show them medical stuff, because those are engineers. I want to teach them engineering stuff in VR. So for example, we look at assembling an engine together in VR. When I go to a medical school, I'm teaching them about the human anatomy and how surgeries work. And we are looking at that together in VR, right? And some of these contents are free. So I don't need to invest in buying a certain program, but some of them are not. So depending on the level that I want to teach and depending on the budget that the school has, I determine whether I could buy that program or not. And don't forget, sometimes we do it for free. So the school I'm going to, they're gonna get a free VR lesson. Like the poor public schools, they don't even have $10 to give you, Sergey. So you have to give them for free. So I do that a lot, by the way. So you see, so there's a lot of before we go to a school, we must learn what do they want to learn? And secondly, do we have that content? If we don't have that free content, does the school have the budget enough for us to buy a content, for us to show them? So those are the questions that we ask depending on which school or institutions that we are going to. Yeah.
Марин, последняя фраза, я вообще не помню.
На русском, на украинском?
Без разницы.
То есть, он немножечко по-другому понял твой вопрос, он на него по-другому ответил. Ты имел в виду на какой стадии урока, он имел в виду вообще где. Последняя фраза говорит о том, что прежде чем применять, сначала узнать в той школе, в которой будет, какой...
Да.
Окей.
In your opinion, the most effective subject or topic for learning in VR? Engineering, something with engine or construction.
Natural science about oceans, yeah.
Biology. And geography. Then top 2, biology and geography. Why? Because in biology, students learn animals they have never seen with their eyes, and most of them have never seen an ocean, right? So they have never seen ocean animals, even fish. Some of them have never even eaten a fish, leave alone seen one. So biology, to me, in perspective from Africa, for you it could be something else, but for me, biology, and by extension, medical colleges. Why? Because medical colleges learn human anatomy. I don't know how much cadavers cost in Ukraine, but a cadaver is very expensive here in Africa. So buying a dead body to study medical or medicine on is very expensive. But virtual reality gives you access to human anatomy. All right?
Yeah.
So, and another good thing about VR that we are not talking about here is the student will not be watching that content alone. Don't forget, the teacher will be there. I will be there. We are all seeing the same thing in VR. So as we see it, the teacher is explaining further what he or she teaches in class. I am also explaining further because I also am very knowledgeable as a teacher, right? So geography also is very good because you learn about volcanoes. But is there a volcano near your school? And even if it were, would you take your students to a volcano? So the virtual reality makes you see volcanoes up close. Another topic that I love to teach is astronomy.
Yeah, sure.
Right? Nobody has ever gone to the moon. But with VR, we can all land on the moon with Neil Armstrong. We can be in a space rocket, in Elon Musk space rocket. We can go to Jupiter. We can go to distant planets that even human beings have never been, that have been made by simulations. So some of these things that I'm talking about, Sergey, it is best for me to open a session.
Have you problem with glasses, legs, or user disorientation, or something else? I know that glasses плохо влияют на зрение.
The eyesight, whether there is a bad impact on eyesight.
Well, Israel, come here. That's my 6-year-old son. I'm calling on him so that you see whether he has had any effect on his eyes. And whether I, who have been using it since 2016, has an effect on my eyesight. Now, here are my friends from Ukraine. You remember we were talking about...
Это шутка, что типа нет эффекта.
Where Russia is bombing. You remember we talked about that?
Yes.
And they're asking you, have you ever had any effect on your eyes since you are using VR?
No, I think they don't.
Really?
Yes.
Tell them the truth. Does VR hurt your eyes in any way? Do you feel uncomfortable?
Do your eyes hurt after wearing them for half an hour?
Just like it hurts my forehead.
But how many times do you use it? How long do you use it a day? How many times in a day have you used
So many
it?
times, like for a billion times. Like infinite times.
So this is the son of the first African in VR. So you can imagine he uses it all the time. And he started using it since he was 2 years old.
Oh,
So-
I have question about age. When we can start? If 2 years? No, not.
Now Meta says 9 years, but it's my son and he uses it when I'm there, and I don't want him to start using when he's 9, so he started using it when he was 2 years old. But since last year, now he doesn't. I don't teach him anything. In fact, he started using a game that I've never taught him. Penguin Paradise is the game you use most of the time. Am I the one who taught you Penguin Paradise?
No, I played it by myself and I started since I was 4 years old.
Yeah, so he has now started learning things that I didn't teach him. Okay, see you later. Go to your VR. So
Bye.
I have used VR since 2016 and I have very good eyesight. You can see I'm not wearing glasses like my friend Marina here, whom I read it out with.
No, the special glasses for my PC to protect my eyes
But
from
one
this
thing
blue
is black.
screen.
One thing I can teach you about glasses is that the virtual reality comes with a device that you place between the VR. This is now the VR without the cover. So when you are using glasses, the VR comes with something you put here and then you put the cover back. So that's for people who have glasses. So you don't even have to remove your glasses if you are using your glasses.
Oh, hi everyone. It's really nice to see you today. I'm happy to be here with you. No, the VR has not affected my eyes in any way. In fact, I love watching movies in the headset, in the VR, right? Because I can minimize the light into whatever level I want. And it's very different from the light of the television. So there are apps like Workrooms that I can, watch my movies. So yeah, it has no effect in my eyes.
Maybe sometime user have disorientation when use glasses, then put up and Марин, как это сказать? Теряются.
Take off, put on. Если снимать, одевать. Take off, снимать, а put on, одевать.
Теряются в пространстве.
So my colleague is asking whether their students, users have difficulties when they take off their glasses, maybe the first seconds or minutes, either a kind of disorientation or no.
In my experience, and this is in my experience, and by the way, before I answer your question about brightness, the VR allows you to reduce the brightness and also allows you to reduce what we call night light, which I really love because I don't like bright stuff. By the way, my eyes get, if I watch a TV with a lot of light on it, I'm gonna get itchy, and that does not happen when I'm using VR because I've put low brightness settings in my VR. So for the brightness, that's up to you.
Right.
For what you're talking about, that, okay, explain that to him first before I answer about...
Yeah. Сергей, надо немного перевести?
Да, я вообще не понял.
Brightness — это яркость. Он
я
просто
понимаю.
говорит о том, что ему наоборот даже лучше, когда VR, потому что слишком ярко и пересыхает или просто неприятно, а у него даже начинают чесаться глаза. А там же есть возможность выбрать самому яркость, и, соответственно, наоборот, легче, не так напрягаются глаза там, если смотреть просто так.
Да, я понял.
And sometimes I use VR for 6 hours in a day, so it does not affect me. So you can imagine, my eyes are very sensitive to light, but I reduce my brightness and I put on the night light, which even on my phone, I do that. If I put a lot of brightness on my phone, I'm going to get itchy. So, about the nauseous feeling, in my experience, there are three kind of people when using VR. There are people who don't get an effect at all, like me. Since I used it the first time, I have never felt nauseous. Then there are those who feel nauseous for a little bit and then they stop. I think, Diana, you fall in that category. The very first time you felt something and then you stop feeling it.
Мгм.
And
Yeah.
then very few, it doesn't stop. And I'm talking about like one person in 40 people. It never stops for them. And usually those people have got other issues going on with them. They have other medical stuff going on with them.
Мгм, мгм.
So when I
So
go
it's
to
possible to predict this actually, yeah?
Yeah.
These minority of students who already suffer for some issues.
it's very rare. Since 2016, in all my outreach, you can imagine I've only seen 3 people, and I have taught VR to thousands and thousands of people. Right? Another thing is that as much as I use virtual reality, there are things I've never been able to do without feeling nauseous. For example, I have never been able to play flying games. I've never been able to play flying games in VR. I kind of feel funny when I'm playing flying games. So that's the only thing that affects me. And somebody else will tell you they feel funny when they are playing height games. You know, a game where they feel like they are very high. But everybody has got their own feelings, just like the way some people don't like traveling on airplanes or using elevators or using escalators. The same thing with VR. People, their brain perceive it differently. But for me, the few times somebody has completely been affected by it and it never changed, maybe in all my life I've seen 3 people. Yeah. You can explain to him.
Перевести чуть-чуть?
Да нет, в принципе, понял все.
Что? Noise — это тошнота. То есть
Да,
кого
да,
тошнит.
да, да.
Мало кого, слава богу. Ну, в общем, кто боится, тот и...
Кто боится-
Кого укачивает и так, того будет и укачивать, даже если ему просто закрыть глаза и без этих очков.
Мгм, мгм.
Так.
Можно вопрос? Переведи, пожалуйста, вопрос.
Да.
Можно ли с помощью VR-очков бороться, наоборот, с этим, со страхами, с боязнью высоты?
My colleague has a really intriguing question. Is it possible to overcome some phobias with the help of VR glasses? For instance, you have mentioned those who are afraid of height, and with the help of it, step by step.
Oh yes. Now you are starting to talk about what we call mentorscape. We have a program called mentorscape, which help people who are dealing with phobias in their real life to do it in VR. People who are, like, for example, myself, I had a phobia of reptiles. You know, I could see snakes and I would feel tingly all over my body. But because of constant watching VR, that phobia is now ended. I'm sure right now if you had me a snake, I'm gonna pick it and maybe even eat it, as a Chinese that I visited in China back in 2016. Now I can eat snakes when I'm, in their company. So I have seen people who have thought of the phobia of heights. In the beginning, they were like, oh my God, I'm going to fall. And then by the time they are doing it the 5th time, they are marching across the top of a building in VR, very confident. So yes, VR can change perception. And I believe that is one application of virtual reality. That's why it is called virtual reality. What you are seeing is real, but you are seeing it virtually. It's not really there. And that removes the element of fear from your experience.
Yeah. Thank you very much. So next question. Are there any alternatives to the Engage? I know software Engage where we visit your event. Any alternatives?
Oh man, you have got thousands alternatives. I'll let Diana name a few and why they are good. Go ahead, Diana, before I finish it for you so that I don't take all the questions.
Что?
Ну, у него есть много альтернатив. Я так и, может быть, это...
Приложение.
Вот, тогда нужно... Maybe that question was misunderstood because he meant like what kind of programs or apps apart from Engage?
Yes, that's what I'm asking Diana to explain.
You said that there are thousands, but where is it possible to pick to look at them? At least a few.
We are not going to tell you 1,000 apps. We are just going to name the few that we use.
Can you name them?
Yes. Go ahead, Diana.
So we've actually used Engage for a while, but I don't know if Paul has mentioned this already. He started doing virtual reality events posting in an app called Space. And actually before that, there was one called VTime. Right, Paul? That's where you started all this. So there was VTime, and then he went to Altspace, where now he could meet more than 4 people. In VTime, there was only that possibility of meeting only 4 people in an environment, in a virtual environment. And then he went to now Altspace, where there was a bigger audience. And after that, the Altspace space was closed. We moved to Engage. And now we have expanded. We have other events that we host in another app called Banter. We also have a VR chat. We have a world there that we are going to be launching soon. We have workrooms, where Horizon Workrooms, where we actually have a group of women. We meet, we talk about technology and other stuff that we are encountering as women in technology space. We have many other apps. Is it called Better TV? We have a lot of apps in VR, but the ones that I just mentioned are the ones that we have, gone there and established something, whether it's hosting an event or building a world.
And Diana, also, I forgot to say Spatial and Frame VR, where you did the New York presentation, because she has done a presentation with the Lessif Conseil de New York in Frame VR. Now, let me talk a little bit about why we use these apps, because I know you're wondering, Sergey, why are my events in Engage, right? You may wonder, why not in VR chat? Now, the very first thing I will do is, VTime is still there, like I say, it's still there, but only 4 people can meet in a room. Now, of course, when you're doing a public event, you cannot do a public event with only 4 people.
Yeah, sure.
That is why I started hosting events in Allspace, which was owned by Microsoft. Now, it was a free app. We didn't pay anything. And I believe we could have a maximum of even as many as 50 people in a room. And even when there were more than 50, what Allspace used to do is to split itself into what they called instances. So the host is visible to everybody who is in all these instances. So if there are 50 people in a room and another person comes in, Allspace would split itself into 2 rooms. But you would be visible in all the rooms as the host. Another thing that you look for in an app, very important, and it actually happened on Thursday when you came. Did you hear me say that I have thrown out 2 kids who are screaming?
Yeah.
So you need an app with very strong host tools, because don't forget, you are doing this publicly. You are lying. You don't know who is gonna come to your event.
Yeah, sure.
Right?
Yeah, sure.
Other guy. So the reason why we use Engage is because of strong host tools, which are very important. Just like a Zoom meeting, a host need to mute someone who is not muted. A host need to create rooms. So every app has its advantage. Horizon Workrooms, it is actually made by Meta, right? Horizon Workrooms is so good because of one reason that I love it. Sometimes I host event in Horizon Workrooms. Horizon Workrooms allows you 16 people in the metaverse. By the way, it's also a free app. It's very free. You can use it freely.
Horizon free too? Yeah.
Yeah, Horizon Workrooms is free, but you can talk with Engage people and they can give you a discount.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
One more question, please. Sorry, one more question. Марин, переведи, пожалуйста. покупаешь подписку для создателя комнаты или для каждого участника комнаты, тоже нужна такая подписка. Подписка дает возможность создавать уникальные предметы, ну, или посещать другие комнаты. Эту подписку...
The subscription, what does it include? And is this subscription only for the host or for all the students, all the residents who will join it?
No, what you get is the license is like you are an admin. And under yourself, you can have many people in what we call a group. So people will be in your group. But you get a lot of stuff when you have the enterprise account. You have what we call a persistent world. So for example, if it is a campus like ours, you can go somewhere and engage and you can find it there permanently. Yeah, that is if you want. Of course, you get freedom to use all their content, including AI that you saw in my world. Did you see in my world I had AI? So you get to use AI in the metaverse. So you get, there's a lot of stuff that you get, including recording, capabilities, and like I said, using as many licenses under you as you can. Like for example, when we are doing the metaverse for SDGs at the UN, that is what we used. We use those licenses under Engage. And so the best thing is to take it as an institution rather than an individual. But whether you do take it as an institution or an individual, you get the same options. So their most expensive license, the one I have, is called Enterprise Account. And you can discuss with them. You can discuss with the people who are concerned, and then they can charge you maybe, half of that or less than that. So that's up to you. I don't work for Engage. I just love it because of the building. It's very simple to build in Engage. Diana can agree here because our students, they find it so easy to use. Now, VR chat is free of charge. Whatever you do, it's free of charge. And you can have as many people as, I believe, 40 in one room, free of charge. And VR chat is the most populated VR app in the world. It's the most populated. There are thousands of people there. In fact, if you look at their name, it's called Engage XR Professional Metaverse, which is where I want to do serious stuff, because in VR chat, I'll have a lot of people coming in who are not serious, but another good thing about VR chat, if you don't want your group to be public, you can set the link on it to the people you want in your world, in your metaverse world. But bringing a video in VR chat is going to be hard if you are not used to working in VR. It's going to be hard. In Engage, I just play something, it's on the screen. I can create a bubble and we can go inside the bubble and watch something in 360. I can bring in a 360 photo. You can do all of that in VR chat, but you have to build it in another external app called Unity first, or other 3D building apps before you import it. So in Engage, I love it because anything I want, I get it and I can share it immediately. Even from Google Drive, even from Dropbox, I can share it in Engage immediately. Now there are other apps like the one I was talking about, Horizon Workrooms. It's free, but it only allows you 16 people in a room. You can only play videos on the screen, but Horizon Workrooms, you can hotspot what you are playing from your laptop. You can cast it onto the screen that is in Horizon Workrooms. You get it, right? You have the laptop in your physical world, but you're wearing the virtual reality and you cast the screen onto Horizon Workrooms. So when you do this with your mouse, you see it there in the VR in the workroom. So that's very good. Horizon Workroom is also good because it connects to Zoom directly. So you can have a Zoom call with somebody who is not in VR, and they can see you in avatar, and you're seeing them on the screen on Zoom. By the way, that Zooms allows you 32 people on that Zoom. So plus the 16 who are in the metaverse, who are in Horizon Workrooms. Are you understanding all of this? Am I going too fast or?
No, I understand. If something
Let me
wrong,
continue.
Marina, help me.
So you have Spatio. Spatio is also free of charge. And you can have many as, if I'm not wrong, 40 people in a room. I don't like Spatio much because of the usability. Now let me tell you another reason that I forgot to tell you why I love Engage. It's because you can use mobile, PC, and VR to come to Engage. Now, what were you using when you came?
I'm trying at telephone.
Oh.
Then I try at my PC. When I come your meeting, it was PC.
Yes.
But I registration and some in phone. Yeah,
Okay, so
it's very
in that
cool.
meet, there were 4 people in VR because as an admin, I can see who are in VR, I can see who is in PC, and I can see who is in mobile. So you have got 3 people who are on mobile, 4 people who are on 3 people who are on PC, and 5 people who are in VR. That is why I love Engage, because I'm from Africa and I want to use an app that brings a lot of people who do not have VR headset. Now Spatio does that too. Spatio does that too. Horizon Workrooms, no mobile, only PC and VR. VR chat, I hear there is a way you can come using PC, but I've never tried it. I've never tried it. I've only used virtual reality. Of course, I've got so many headsets. I hardly want to use PC or mobile when I'm using VR. I use my virtual reality headsets. Now there is also Rec Room, RECROOM, Rec Room. Rec Room is also free of charge, no charges at all. But it is limited to how many people can be in a room. I don't know how many is the maximum, but I think I would say 16 is the maximum. I don't know. I've never used, but Rec Room also has a lot of kids, right? So VR chat has a lot of adults and teenagers, and I told you it's the number 1 with the highest number of people in the metaverse. It's VR chat. Rec Room has the highest number of kids because it has a lot of games. It's where I go when I want to play a game. Okay, that's where I go, right? Now it's also free of charge, so you can create your own room, play freely, play and build freely. Nothing is chargeable. There is also big screen VR. Big screen VR. Now, big screen VR is where I start an event. For example, if I want to watch a football match together or a movie together, that's where I open a world and I can meet people randomly. So when for example there's an event happening in the world, like I started an event in big screen because that's where people are coming in randomly. People go to big screen to watch together, watch parties. That's where I start them. It's also free. However, I think the maximum number is 15 in a room because I've never been given more than 15 in a room. So there is also Meta Horizon. Now Meta has got 2 apps in VR. Horizon Workrooms, the one I told you about, and Horizon Worlds. Now Horizon Worlds is not available in Africa, so I have to use VPN to access Horizon Worlds. I don't know whether it is available in Ukraine. I don't know. You have to check.
Sorry, I need 1 minute.
Okay.
Я тут шахет, подожди, я сейчас.
Yeah, unfortunately, there is an alarm in our city, and my colleague has to relocate himself to a safer place. My partner.
Oh,
here.
wow.
Yeah, just a few seconds, he will find. I can
my
hear this
God.
as well. Yeah,
Is there a
unfortunately. Yeah, shelling.
Oh my God, it's happening right now.
What can I say without swearing? It's hard to find a proper name for this. Yeah, unfortunately.
Wow.
Yeah.
Then you see why I told you we need to speak with our Ukrainian friends.
Yeah.
It's
We are
happening.
resistant no matter what. Yeah.
Oh, so sorry.
In my view, you are as resilient as Africans are, and that's why I love you guys.
Thanks. We do appreciate this. Yeah.
And to me, I view virtual reality as a United Nations, because the real United Nations is failing. And I'd rather be friends with someone who is in Ukraine than with someone who is in London, because we
Yeah.
share.
Distance doesn't make any difference.
I'm here. Oh, it's
Sergey, are you alive?
Oh, it's okay.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
We have. I have last question, and what are the most important tips you would offer for a successfully integrate virtual VR into the education process?
Because I just told Marina, I'd rather talk with someone who is in Kyiv than talk to someone who is in London, because your challenges are Africa's challenges. War is a challenge in Africa. So this is what we do sometimes, because we don't want to go and start borrowing money from people. This is what we do. So this is a verse, and you can view it in virtual reality, right?
Ты можешь отсканировать на телефон и
3D asset.
приложение.
Yeah, it's not a picture. It's a 3D asset of a real being. We took this in our real world. In a fundraiser, this is a handkerchief, right? For the nose. If you buy it for 10 cents or 1 cent US dollar, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you are buying it in the shop for your nose. But if you do it for fundraising, you sell this for $50 because it's for fundraising, right?
Yeah.
It makes sense, right? So that's what we do this. That's why we do this. So we don't just do education in VR, Sergey.
Зарабатывал на этом, а не только.
Да,
Я правильно понимаю твой вопрос? Как он сканирует и спросить у него?
Можем мы взять любой объект, отсканировать его лидаром
и добавить туда.
Вводить его в виртуальную реальность. И там уже с ним взаимодействовать.
The question is it possible to scan anything like that vase, or I don't know, handkerchief, whatever it is, and implement it in your setting, in the background, foreground?
For example, you have a Russia-bombed school or classroom in your neighborhood, right? You go scan the building, you bring it in VR. People come see the building and the damage. They walk around it in VR. That can, because it's an impactful experience.
Yeah,
for the people who see.
You're right.
And I have never come to Ukraine, but I have been to Ukraine 1,000 times using VR, because there are people who have learned this in Ukraine. They shoot videos in Ukraine, 360 videos, and those videos are in Meta TV, and you are going to see them when I bring you to VR. The only difference is I didn't get to them fast, but I'm getting Sergey now, and this can happen. So yes, I've gone to Ukraine many times and I've seen the bombs in VR. Yes.
Ну да, он прав. Давайте прощаться. У нас осталось времени. Давай скажем, что у нас осталось 5 минут. Мы очень благодарны ему за опыт и за помощь. И встретимся с ним завтра на ивенте. Я посещу.
Yeah. So my colleague as well as me, we are really grateful, first of all, for your time, because as I understand, it's quite late, not just in Ukraine, but in Africa as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost 10 p.m. Here as well as in your country and continent. So once again, thanks very much for the time, for all the things that you have mentioned. Even I have taken some notes. Sergey has really, he has just told me that, yeah, he could be really the first doing something like that. So, and as I understood, tomorrow there is an upcoming event that Sergey is going to attend. So you
Yes.
will see him again tomorrow.
A weekly event. You're also welcome, Marina. And I think tomorrow, Sergey, are you going to be talking tomorrow? I'll give you, how many minutes do you?
Окей. Я подготовлю выступление.
He will prepare something. Yeah, he will prepare something for tomorrow's event.
Much also, and for letting us to know you. Please send me the video because I want to send it to my associates. Diana, I don't know whether you have closing comments.
Yeah, sure. I'm sent tomorrow.
This one will be Seattle. Yeah. My associates are in Seattle, USA, and we are going to work together to make this successful.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Мне уже...
Diana, do you have a closing comment?
Что?
This is my first time actually communicating to Ukrainians this way. So it feels really special, and I don't have words to say sorry for what you're going through up there. But yeah, I'm happy that you're okay and you're strong, and you have the strength even within this time to venture into things that can not only benefit you but also the community that you're living in right now. So let's do this together, and we pray for a better tomorrow.
Thank
And
you.
Sergey, my last question would be yours. You have asked me so many questions, but I want to ask you a question.
Сейчас тебе вопрос прилетит, Сергей, готовься.
Sure. Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you
Asante.
so
Yeah.
much. Thank
All
you
right.
so much.